Merry Christmas, everybody. I don't know
Hello.
if we're doing one beforehand. Oh, no, we are, aren't we?
Are we?
Someone has joined. Someone. Oh, hang on. What is this? It now tells me that people have joined on Twitter. Sorry, that's going to be
annoying. I can see that now as well. Jeez.
It's also going to be, here we go. Sam is having difficulties. There he goes.
Better?
Is
that better?
100% better. 100% better.
Amazing. I'm using my phone rather than my computer.
100% worse now, and I don't know why.
What?
Now it's fine. It was your cup. Your mug was in the way.
Talk with the mug near your face.
Yeah, talk with your mug.
I'll talk.
Have you got him one? Have you got him one for Secret Santa?
Are we doing a Secret Santa?
No, we should have done, but we're not.
I was going to say, I hope not, because I didn't get that memo.
This is the problem. This entire room
exactly.
is now completely this room is completely and utterly full of Leanne's Christmas presents, and it's.
Oh, who you bought what then?
Oh, she won't listen. Oh, posh stuff.
I've got a present for you.
That's a French word.
I've got a present for you, Mike.
All right, go on.
What does that say? Champions.
It's a back Boris bottle opener.
Is it? Yeah. Well, that's ironic, to say the least, isn't it? What did it do? Giving out at COVID parties?
No. I've also got I think I inherited this from my granddad. A Grimsby Town grand key ring with a Dixon thing on it.
That might be one of my favourite town shirts.
You can have it if you like.
We managed 93 seconds before you brought that up, Sam. Do you know the last couple of weeks how much football we've got through?
Oh, do you know what? I'll be perfectly honest. I'd much prefer the Grimsby Town thing than the back Boris bottle opener.
Usually, it's unlikely that. It's usually you guys who... Oh, we are live. Yeah, it's usually you two who bring it up rather than me. And I just kind of get pelters from the... I just get pelters from the public. It's not my fault, obviously.
This is the bit where Jason said before the recording on Thursday, is this bit actually part of the podcast? Or do I have to listen to it? I was like, no, you don't.
Does that mean he's heard all those unhelpful things that I said about him and the ownership when I was emotional in the immediate aftermath of the decision?
I'll be honest, mate. I don't think our opinion holds much weight.
Yeah, I won't worry about it, mate.
Oh, no, Sam's upset with us. I must write a letter to the Guardian.
He knows he's doing something right if you're upset with him, Sam.
Yeah, that's true. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Bruce will be here in a moment and we can do everything. I hope you've done all your Christmas shopping. That was the last weekend of Christmas. Am I right? Before Christmas? Or am I wrong? No, I'm not. You can do the 23rd or 24th, but if you're doing your shopping on Christmas Eve, you're screwed. Let's be entirely honest. What can I say? Oh, if you want a print, do it by Monday and I'll make sure it gets in the post before Christmas and arrives before Christmas. That's all I can say. I will. I'm pretty good. Oh, you want some, but we haven't agreed what you want.
When I agree, I sent you what I wanted. Said, tell me how much it is, and you went okay, and that was a month ago.
Let's have a look. What does Mike want?
We're just waiting for Bruce now, aren't we? That's what we're doing in a minute.
Have we not established by now that Bruce is the podcast and we are merely what's the word?
Don't say that. That's going to go to his head.
He's not on at the moment. We can say nice things about him.
He says he's going to be late. He's probably finishing his Indian off, isn't he?
Oh my God! What? Oh yeah, that was your article. I was like, what is that? Have you had a row with me?
Not another one.
Why has this WhatsApp message got 950 words?
TLDL. Okay, so you want that one, all of them. Okay.
And 1A3 with the Blundell Park ones. I think that's fantastic.
Oh, here comes Porky Pig. So apparently someone's been delving into the pigs in blankets before Christmas is up.
Oh, mate, I'm absolutely stuffed. If I fall asleep like a baby, I've done way too much tea, but I'm old school where your mum don't let you leave it. And my mum wasn't here, but oh my God.
I fell asleep at work. I fell asleep at the work Christmas party on Thursday.
Oh, that's a good effort.
That says a lot about the work Christmas party, I guess.
Well, Jason came to Oxford with us. He fell asleep till the 75th minute, didn't he? I mean, at least me, Sam, and Mike were awake.
Yeah, we couldn't see the game live, but we were awake.
But yeah, Claire's been at work, and I thought, so I've cooked tea, and she just sort of got home about 20 past. It was all perfect, and normally we plate her one up to take to work tomorrow. And I looked at this pork, and
Hang
I
on,
was
whoa,
like,
whoa! Claire takes her Sunday lunch to work on the Monday.
we plate another portion up. Yeah, it saves doing a pack up, doesn't it?
But that's on a Monday.
Yeah,
No, you can't be doing that. No, it's all wrong.
It's a
No,
Monday
I
lunch,
don't
isn't
mind
it?
it. It's just that's quite extreme, isn't it? You know, what have you got? I don't think I've ever seen anyone in my work ever go in with a Sunday lunch.
Oh, but
Bruce,
you live down south. They probably all eat wafers and that.
You're a
Did you-
bunch of
And the marmite
psychopaths.
beans.
Psychopaths,
you-
a lot of you.
Did you actually have roast dinner, Bruce? Because if it was something else, it might be kind of borderline justifiable.
Pork chops, stuffing, carrots, mixed veg,
And chicken.
Yorkshire pudding. We have Yorkshire pudding with everything in our house.
Reheated Yorkshire pudding for Monday dinner. Interesting.
Well, she's not got it because because I decided that I was too hungry and there wasn't enough to make a plate for tomorrow. So she'll have to go to that thing at school that they have. What's it, Spuddy Buddy or something?
Spuddy Buddy.
Yeah, jacket potato machine or something. Spuddy Buddy.
Jason was right, wasn't he? I said this is the first 6 minutes of the podcast, and we've not mentioned the word Grimsby or town or football yet.
Oh, we are.
We should maybe time it so that, like, you if you want to just get the football chat, it's literally exactly 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something, so you can just skip it. I wonder how many people we could be as big as Peter Crouch if we didn't chat shit at the start.
I've
Or in
listened
the
to Peter
middle or at
Crouch's.
the end.
I've
Yeah, that's a good point,
listened to Peter Crouch's podcast. That's all he does, and then laughs a lot.
Sorry, aren't podcasts just chatting shit? Isn't that what they are?
Not Jamie Vardy's. You get banged as well.
I'm
Roll
not
the credits,
banging
Alex.
anybody.
Okay. Right, I'm going to mute now because I've got in trouble the other day.
You did, yeah. What are we doing? Do you want me to go to the Lord?
I'm always in trouble for it, Bruce. So I won't let it.
Do you wanna
bother too
start?
much.
We can start.
Before we do start, can you stop those?
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy. Hey, they got a penalty here. They've been fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! A really, really good job. You can't make it straight like that.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the DN35 podcast. In a week when Scunthorpe United decided to be sponsored by a funeral directors, making it far too easy for all of us to make fun of them more than usual. We are joined by Mike, Porky Pig, and Sam to talk through what was a 1-1 draw against Newport County. And then we are joined by RM Clark. I say RM because I don't actually know what his full name is, who has just done a book called Winner Stays On, which was about the FA Cup. And it sounds like he spent a lot of time holding an inflatable fish. So we'll have a chat with them. But it is nearly Christmas. I don't know whether or not this is the last show before Christmas. I believe me, Mike, and Jack are doing something tomorrow here at my house, which is slightly unnerving. And we will go from there, really. But gents, nice to see you. How are you? Bruce is already, needs the Gaviscon, I think. Oh, this is a problem.
I'm all right at the minute. Thank you. I'm
What's
awake.
that? What's that to the left of you? What's the little squirty thing?
That side.
Yeah.
Oh shit! That's a Christmas present. Balls.
And what's in the M&S thing?
Luckily, my stepmom hates. Oh shit! That's what it came in. Nothing to say here.
Nobody noticed, mate. You got away with it.
It's all right. I don't think my stepmom's likely to be listening to or watching the pod.
She's a valued listener, Bruce. I don't know what you're talking about.
She hates Bruce, though. That's the thing.
Oh, we're doing old
She
mother-in-law
probably will
jokes.
do when I give her. She probably will do when I give her the present.
Marks and Spencer's isn't too bad though. That's a pretty. It's not
Yeah,
Savers.
but sandwich might be out of date by Christmas, mightn't it?
Is that what it is? It's Percy Pigs, is it?
I've eaten it.
Ben,
No,
do you know what? I was
I've
there
bought-
long before you. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I bought her some. She
Now
asked
you're just
for
showing
it.
it.
She's not coming, is she? She's not coming on the pod. Not going to be watching this.
You go to great lengths to hide it and then show us it.
Oh, that was just pantomime, Sam. That was just pantomime.
Ben assumes it's some sort of lotion for your alone time.
I've seen them stepmom videos on the internet, so yeah, it could be.
You know when we said we were going to start early?
Oh, well, Sam went yesterday. One of the dedicated. I don't even. Did they announce the away fans? Was it something like 230 or something?
238. I mean, in the stand behind the goal where we were, there must have been about 30 of us, if that.
You were quite derogatory about it, but I think the weekend before Christmas, in a cost of living crisis, I thought that was very well done for our.
I think fair play to each and every one of you, Sam.
I was derogatory about the performance. I wasn't that derogatory about the. Actually, I know I did criticise the efforts, and I thought about it a bit more and thought maybe a bit harsh. But
yeah, hang on. Yeah, I've kept the receipts.
It's
I'll
shit.
tell you exactly what
I
you
think
said.
that's fairly derogatory. It's shit.
Yeah,
we'll let him off because he was there, wasn't he? He made the effort and he was there. And
he did, showing that
I switched off.
Nothing but dedication.
It was a
Did you?
It's an easy ground to do from London. Actually, it's an hour and a half on the train out of Paddington and a 5-10 minute walk.
Don't tell Mike that now.
Mike, we're still worried that Mike won't make Sutton.
I mean, after the last three away games I'd done, which were Forest Green, Milton Keynes, and Oxford, which were all miles out of town, need a bus or a taxi from the station. It was a welcome change, to be honest with you, be able to basically be on the train by 5:20 and back home, back in my flat by 7:30. So it's a sort of place. But the other three, I won't be in a hurry to go back to any of those, to be honest with you.
Right, let's get into it then. 1-1 draw. Omar Bogle came back as the beautiful self that he is, and scored first before a beautifully worked team goal, and Danny Rose put it in. And then, was it John Tonda who was on commentary yesterday? Matt Dean,
yeah.
Who assumed that he'd broken his arm, but was still playing. But,
well, I thought he'd broken his arm, and he was about 10 yards from me. So I can sort of sympathise with Matt Dean, to be honest with you.
But it was a 1-1 draw. Town are now undefeated in 6, but have yet to win. When was our last away win? Was it Southampton?
Donny on Easter Monday.
Who?
Donny on Easter Monday.
Doncaster on Easter Monday. There you go. So John Lewis has come out with facts. Our last 4 attendances prior to this one at Newport are 405, 242, 243, and 256. So not too bad at all. I would agree wholeheartedly. There you go. They are facts.
They're dropping, aren't they? From whence they were.
No,
seriously.
405 was last season.
405 was last season. That's not too bad.
Sorry, our attendance is there. I apologise. I thought you meant the last 4. Right, ignore me.
That's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. Because we also had Oxford, didn't we? That was really reasonably well attended.
There were 600 of us at Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
There were 400 odd of us at Forest Green, and it's the week before Christmas, and it was really cold, and it's a long way, and it's not very appealing. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons why the attendance wasn't very clever yesterday.
I wanted to go yesterday, but I didn't go because Maisie had a big game which they lost, so I could have come.
Hang on, you only support your daughter when she wins.
No, I wanted her to win, but they didn't win. So I
get in the back seat.
I would have missed a defeat, but no, I do. I've never been to Newport, as has been mentioned before, and I do want to go. I think I'm going to be doing Wimbledon though now, even though it's rearranged. It was perfect on that Saturday the 6th.
Is it rearranged to a particular date? I haven't seen it.
They haven't announced it yet, but I need to go to Wimbledon because I haven't been. I need to go and stay at Mike's house because I need to go to Sutton. Yes.
I don't know if you picked up on the interview that we did with the owners. If not, go check it out. It was the last podcast we did. They answered your question on why we can't host the youth team on the 6th of January.
Yeah, because everyone's getting pissed on the night before.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Good. Anyone got anything? I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you.
There were
I was
reasons.
there.
Good. Oh yeah, of course you were. Why did I forget that?
Oh, what a great start this has been! 15 minutes.
It was me who wasn't. It was me who wasn't there on Thursday because I was too busy getting hammered at the staff Christmas party.
Apparently,
that's what
Michael
you-
Owen has joined, which is nice.
We didn't ask all your Hurst questions, Sam. The 3 pages was way too many.
Why doesn't he love me?
I tried to keep it down.
Mike did start chatting to them about Hurst a bit, and it was sort of the question was sort of answered, and then we moved on to something else.
Oh, it's the past. It's the past, isn't it? It's irrelevant.
It's behind us now, Sam. It's behind us now.
I know. So people keep telling
Which
me.
is what the defence usually say at the moment, given our inability to be able to keep a clean sheet.
So,
where's the ball?
Do I talk about the game then since I went, or is that too radical?
Well, we all saw it, I believe. So I don't know. I will, and then I'll come to you.
I'm happy to.
I thought we started strong, and then I thought the referee was pretty shit yesterday, and in a really insignificant way, where the 50-50s were going for them and not for us. I can count to a number of occasions, and I think that switched the momentum, and we never got it back until the very end. And then at the end of the game, it looked like there was only one team that were going to win it, and that was us. And we had a chance to, chances to put it away. Gav Holohan missed a sitter. Clifton missed a sitter as well with that beautiful, beautiful ball by Anthony Glennon. I would worth the admission fee alone. I don't know what you think, Sam, because you'd have had a good view of it, but I thought, considering it. I would say it was probably Artel's, least impressive performance so far. And we came away with, slightly disappointed we didn't win it. And I'm sure Newport would be the same. So it was, a point is fair.
I was a bit critical. I had a bit of a moan last night on social media in the fishy and got a bit of stick for it. I think there's still an element of people looking through rose-tinted glasses at it. This is still the same bunch of players that had us 21st and 3 wins in 20 under Hurst, and I still think the same inadequacies are there. We're easy on the eye now for sure. We're easier to watch. We're more attacking, but the same kind of fragility, same kind of defensive frailties manifest themselves time and time again. I mean, we got away with them yesterday. I mean, there was the stage in the first half where the lad's completely free at the back post and he makes a complete mess of his header, and Cartwright just happens to be standing in the right place. I don't think we were very good at all, and we were good in the last 15 minutes, but it was very much it resembled a lot of games so far this season. So yeah, good spirit, I guess, to come back. I mean, it was a really well worked goal from back to front. It was a properly good goal. Despite the fact, I mean, I know Danny Rose played on, but he was still clearly in quite some discomfort. I didn't think Malarkey played well. Bloke can't cross a ball. I didn't think Harry Clifton's really divided opinion on the back of yesterday. I thought he was poor, but other people seem to think he was our best player. I'm happy to have the discussion. I'm on the poor side of the debate. I thought Glennon was probably our best player again. I mean, Alex is right. The ball into Harry for the late real chance was quality beyond League Two. It was really, really good.
So anyone who didn't see it, he megged the guy that was fronting up to him. It was beautifully wasted, curved into the path of Clifton,
who looked like just to roll it across the keeper into the net, but somehow, as is always the case with Harry Clifton, in a position where he needs a bit of quality, he lacks it. So we didn't score, but honestly, a point at Newport with our wretched record there is pretty good. It's another point from behind. It was a miserable day, sort of weather-wise. It's hard to be too critical in terms of the result, but there's still a hell of a lot to work on, and he's going to have to sign some new players.
Are we happy with him saying that Harry lacks that a little bit? So I'll go with Andrew. Andrew Niles says lots of contradictory opinions on social media, which Sam alluded to. Clifton was rubbish or / man of the match. Need new centre backs. Actually, they were solid, optimistic, pessimistic. I don't know, Mike. You have unmuted first, so you are
Let me
keen
just
to go. Go ahead.
Before Mike goes, let me just qualify that. That's Harry
No.
Clifton. Okay.
Yeah. You're not allowed to. It's out there now. Yeah, it's out there now. You can say what you want, but then you're not. You know, it's there. Sam wants Harry Clifton out. Basically, is what he was saying. Go on, then, Mike. Or you?
Yeah, I mean, I it's not very often, Sam, but I don't agree with much of what you've said there. To be honest, I think, firstly, in terms of the players, yes, they are the same players, but it's quite obvious over the last couple of weeks they're playing a different way with a different mentality and a different setup. So I don't think that's relevant. You can get the same result. You can get different results out of the same thing, doing things slightly differently. I think what happened yesterday is we started the game well. First 20 minutes we were on top, and you thought, oh, here we go. We're gonna get 3 points on the road here. What I think we let happen is we let ourselves get involved in a game we shouldn't have let ourselves get involved in. Let them dominate too much in midfield, too much worrying about what they're doing with the ball, not trying to assert ourselves on the game. That's not to say we played poorly. I don't think we played well, but not playing well doesn't mean you have to be playing poorly. I think we held on and gave a decent account of ourselves away from home. Didn't really give them too many chances. They had a few clear-cut chances, but so did we. So I don't think it was uneven at either end of the box. I think they just dominated the midfield, but I don't think we played particularly poorly. I think the subs changed the game. Gave us a bit of bite in there. And I must say, the goal we scored, I don't know if you remember last week, I mentioned an obscure passage of play between Conte, Hunt and Clifton, one-touch football around the corner. And that's exactly what we did yesterday for the goal with Houlihan to Ganua round the corner into the final third and a great finish. So you can see, even when ordinarily, a couple of months ago, we'd have lost that game convincingly. We'd have been out of it by half time because we'd have been out-muscled, out-dominated, and then have got 2 or 3. I think we did well to show some character and hold on to the game, went behind, made some changes, still was able to come back and get a point. And, in this league, especially a place like Newport, I never think a point away from home is a bad result. With Gav, I think he sort of changed the match when he came on. And I think Gav Houlihan's one of these players that when he plays well, the team plays well. When he doesn't play well, the team doesn't play well. So I think that was a good change and affect the game. Yeah. And the only other thing that sort of came to mind was their goal. It was massively disappointing that we let the ball drop in the box. And I've got to be critical of Cartwright. I don't know why he's not got something on that. It's dropped right in front of him. So I was massively frustrated with the goal we conceded. But we did well to come back. And I did think the game was one of those. It could have easily been 3-3, 4-3 either way. So I don't think it was we were played off the park. And I'll be honest, with a little bit of composure and the right pass or the right shot at the right time in the first 20 and the last 20, we'd have won that game easy. So continuing very well, got away, got a point. That's all right. Move on.
Mr. Porky Pig.
Just a couple of bits that I'd like to mention. I think going back to even the period that, when we've been struggling with Hurst and before that, we've said for a while, or I've held the opinion, and I think I've shared it on here, and we've agreed that when Paul Hurst, when Holohan played well, we played well, and on a good day he's really good, but just lately he's had a couple of off days, which is probably why he's found himself out of the team. But I do think he's got the ability to get in, to be in there regularly. But he's got to find that consistency, or else it sounds obvious, but he won't be. And just going back to Clifton, I've also shared my opinion before, having watched a few games close up from the lower, which obviously you're quite close to the pitch. I think that that he might struggle with the short sharpness of our passing that we want to be doing moving forward. I don't know that that's his game. Whether there'll be a place in the team for him still as a grafter with some ability on the, some ability. Don't get me wrong. He's not appalling, but he's not going to be. I don't think he's going to have the cuteness of a Glennon or players like that. But there may still be, there may still be room for somebody in the engine room that gets up and down. But I think he might in the short areas where you've got to do tight little passes. I think he might be found out a little bit.
I was some couple of comments coming through. And to just pick up on you, Bruce, about the inconsistencies, Andrew Matthew says, remember, it's 4th division football. Inconsistency is part and parcel of the game. I mean, bloody hell, watch Man United. It's exactly the same there as well. Paul Bevan says, we do need a keeper. Simon says, I like Sam's impression of a gerbil going into hibernation. I might have missed something there. Gav, HC Stormer says, Gav,
it must be the way I was eating that bag of crisps. That's all I can think that was in reference to.
Gav came on and was exceptional. Would love to see him and Conte start a game as holding midfielders together.
I'm not sure about Gav holding. You want Gav running beyond the strikers, don't you? That's a lot of his game.
Sam Strand says, if Harry scored, that pass would have been talked about nationally. Harry only misplaced a couple of passes, but a lot less than Hunt and Conte. I thought Hunt was in and out of the game. He had some periods where he was really bright and others where I think he was quite dominated, especially in that middle part. And I think that was quite linked to when we were, had our worst spell of the game. Newport felt like they were the Newport of old, where I really fucking hate going to play them. They're physical, they're cynical, they're screaming for everything. They're throwing themselves on the floor. They're as strong as warriors when they're trying to get the ball off you. But the second they've got it, they're as light as a feather, and the daintiest of touch throws them to the pitch. And I thought they were, they're the sort of teams that we used to be screaming at when we couldn't just get anything from it. And then ifs and buts and candies and nuts. I think if that was a Hurst game, I think we'd have lost that 1-0. Bruce, what were you going to say?
They're very Sutton when Sutton were doing okay, aren't they? If you've not got a lot of ability and you've got lots of big fellas that sort of huff and puff and and blow people down, then it's gonna be, it could go the way of Sutton in the future at some point, because you need a mix of quality, I think, with that.
And they did that, didn't they?
Sorry.
They did that, didn't they? When Michael Flynn had to come in and rescue them about 4, 5 maybe seasons ago.
When they had Hammond and Champion and that other guy, was it Chapman? I can't remember his name. Anyway, they won an FA Cup run a couple, didn't they? They had some decent players. Ryan Taylor.
But if, like you say, if they're limited and it starts to go wrong, like has happened to Sutton. I mean, Sutton are just a huge team, aren't they? But
haven't they had their entire team like ripped from them? We've obviously got Donovan Wilson, and I thought quite a few of theirs had gone, hadn't they? Because their managers getting pelters, aren't they?
But that's what they had anyway. That's what they were when last year. When they came to us last year, they were a big physical team, and we struggled against it, if I remember rightly. I think teams like that are limited, and you need a bit of a balance of the two somewhere along the line, I think.
And the thing about Newport as well, I think, Bruce, with that is that if you can only hang around the bottom third quarter of this division for so long, you circle the drains, the expression I used, as we know all too well. And they've been hanging around the sort of lower reach of this league for quite a while now. I know they finished in the playoffs a couple of about 4 years ago now, but they've been around the wrong end of it for a bit now.
And what are we making now with the away form? Is there much to be made of how long it's taken us to win? Are we, is there something missing, or do you think Artel's? We've had 3 away games, and I think we were quite impressive in all 3, even though we lost 2-0 to Oxford. So I'm not particularly worried about it. I think it's 2 separate things. Don't know what you guys make of it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it now. Now we've changed manager, and now we're seeing what we've been seeing. I think it's just a matter of time. 6 in the league unbeaten now, so we're going to start turning some of those draws into wins. So not concerned at all. I mean, if you keep going away to places and getting a draw, it's not the worst thing in the world.
No, of course not. As long as we're winning at home.
And it's not like we're playing differently away from. We're not setting up differently. It's not like we're kind of playing like prime Barcelona at home and. There's no difference in setup. There's no real difference in mentality as far as I can make out. It's just that teams tend to play better at home, don't they? I mean, there's another team trying to stop us, and I think they're usually more capable of doing that away. I don't think there's much to be read into it. I think it'll come pretty soon. We'll probably win at Mansfield on Boxing Day, knowing how Grimsby Town works.
I did notice something else, Alex. So John last week mentioned about Artel saying don't be safe when he was doing the warm up for Crewe. I have noticed, and I kept an eye out for yesterday, I've noticed, especially our fullbacks and our centre midfielders, that they are being a lot braver when they're receiving the ball. I've noticed Glennon quite often one-on-one getting pressed with their right winger, just stepping past him and driving on forward. So, that's not always going to work. But, we've got away from home and they're still trying to beat the press and be brave in possession, which I like to see. In the past, we'd have, kept his shape, kept in it, and not been so brave. So it's not always going to work, but it's nice to see us try and do that.
Well, we know. Yeah, go on, Bruce.
We played the same team as well. That's quite a rarity. And I think after that performance yesterday, and we're talking about the former manager, and I've said we don't need to do that, but Alex Hunt would probably be in danger of his place of being swapped out next game because he gave the ball away a few times. But as we've said before, I think that he's going to get a run of games and an opportunity to do things. But I don't know if any of you watched the game on telly earlier, but even one of the best players in his position in the world, Alexander Arnold, had a nightmare with delivery today. So it happens to the best of them.
Yesterday would have been.
Don't bring that in.
Yesterday would have been an easy way to play Green, Conte, and Houlihan in the middle and just not give anything away. And we didn't do that. We kept the same team and we're still brave. So again, not referring back, but a couple of months ago we would have played those three really solid midfielders in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. We don't really ever do anything with these things. So let's see if we can do something with the forward reviews that we send in. Mike usually do. Let's have a go. So
I was going to say Mike usually does it. Mike did it once last week.
He did, yeah. If I do this, it also mucks up Mike's microphone, so it's even better. So Dan Johnston said relegation 10 points away, including goal difference. We'll let him away with those last two. Mike McMahon, don't know who he is. Shit game, decent point. 3Q Nut says wish we played Sutton, who lost 8-0. Place Bob says need players in January. Paul Truck says, do you know what, Paul? You can't count, so you're not included. Slightly worried about that. Rich says Holohan more effective. Harry Clark says 5% more equals 3 points. Simon Hodson says Newport did their homework. Nick Wright said another step forward. He put A as a separate one. John Booth as well, can't count. Day off. Mersey Mariner says standard 4th division match. Grim Tim said yet another game unbeaten. Mike Wolford said a work in progress. Eddie Fogden said Super Danny Rose again. Mark Walters says centre-back pairing needs upgrading. Stuart Muxlow says point better than none. Jack Griffin says points on the board. Square Ride says dragging up the table. Jack Coupland said take it, move on. There you go. We're done.
Just I don't know, just you mentioned Danny Rose in there. And I just wanted to sort of point out something I worked out yesterday. He scored 9 goals in all competitions now, which when you work out per minute, he's scored 1 every 2.5 games. So I think he's probably got on the radar a little bit because he does an awful lot of work for the team, that he's actually scoring quite a few goals. And I think yesterday he got absolutely nothing all game, and the one chance he got, he was there and he put it in the back of the net. So I think that shows the importance of having somebody like him that knows how to score goals, but is always ready to try and nick one. And that's a massive difference from where we were last year or the year before with having that sort of striker in there.
Can I also say, though, that Harry Clifton's goal tally has dropped dramatically? So last season, I think he scored 9 goals all season. He's on 2 so far this season. That's not missed, really, let's be honest, because the strike force are all, above 5, which is a big thing for us. Bruce is writing down what I imagine is a quiz. Yes, it is. I've got one as well, Bruce. So we're going to have to see which one's the better. Yeah, there we are. We're and then we've got Harrogate to come. Anything to be said on that? We didn't bring anyone on because I don't plan.
We're going to win.
There we go.
Draw away, win at home.
It's where we are, and we're so close in this league table. It doesn't take too much to start turning it around, does it? So, how many points are we? 8 points off the playoffs, which is stupid. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're 1 point close to the playoffs in the relegation zone now, aren't we? I mean,
there's no way
I don't think anybody's making an argument we're making a run for the playoffs, but I also think sometimes you just see the three places and you think, oh, we're in a relegation battle. But I think you look at the points differently. You look at how poor some of the teams are in this league, and how we are improving. I would hope turn of the year to be able to start looking up and just seeing how far we get. First thing I think is to beat last year's position or points haul. Points haul probably more important than position, and then see where we go. But the nice thing is, as we said a couple of weeks ago, you get a little run over Christmas. You don't know where you go, and we've got we've got a nice 2-week break right at the start of January to get that message across on the training pitch, maybe get some reinforcements over and get some rest after a busy Christmas period. So if things go right, we could be, this time next month, a lot happier.
Sam had unmuted, so I didn't say anything. And now I've lost what I was actually going to say. Oh, here we go. John Lewis came back on talking about Harry. So Harry Clifton was playing a lot off Taylor last season when he scored most of his goals. So hopefully under Artell, he'll start banging them in again. It'll be interesting to see. It'd be nice to see that clinical side of him where he was it just after Woking and such in the National League when he was, on a little bit of a run at a purple form. It'd be nice to see that. Bruce, what have you got for us?
Are we in quiz territory already?
No, not really. But the gentleman who's coming on is still not here yet. So,
okay.
I was just going to say about Clifton, just really quickly. The point you've just made is quite right. I think last year before, that chance he got with Glennon had buried it. He just doesn't look like he's got that final bit in his game at the minute. I think he still does everything else around the pitch okay. It's just that when Harry was going through on goal, quite often he was scoring in the National League, wasn't he? And lesser extent last year, but he just doesn't have that end product this year.
Bruce, would you prefer if I did my quiz first and then we can leave yours as the main headliner at the end?
Main headline. Oh, gee, that feels like pressure. Yeah, you do yours, mate. I'll do mine at the end. I can.
Mine is always incredible. Sam, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, is the music still playing in the background for everybody? Because I can still hear it. It's just me.
That's your flatmates, mate.
I'd go to the doctor, mate, if you still hear it.
It's in your head.
The Frenchman was an absolute disgrace when he went on. I tell you who I'm looking at, the Frenchman. The Frenchman was an absolute disgrace when he went on.
I'm kind of hoping that now is going to be on a loop for you. Instead
of
Matt
Dean said it yesterday, didn't he? He came out with the Frenchman when he was on about half a Ganua.
Did he really?
Somebody put on Twitter, it's been a while since I've heard the Frenchman on Radio Umberside. At least this one was a little bit less angry.
Rodman didn't mix his words, did he? He didn't mince his words. Sorry, he was. He was quite happy to call out. I thought.
I think Mike didn't like him.
I didn't like him. Right, listen, I didn't like him at Forest Green because he had a bit on Glennon, and Glennon was great at Forest Green, so I went off him then. But he said yesterday, he's like, I'd have brought Green and Houlihan off, and I'd have kept Hunt on and take Rose off. I'm thinking, yeah, take your only striker off the pitch when you're 1-0 down.
No, I thought he made a couple of good points. I think you're signaling out one thing that was not so good. But I thought he didn't mind. He didn't sit on the fence. He didn't mind criticising when people didn't do things very well.
Shall we bring our guest in to have a chat? Because now Sam's left.
Yeah, has he gone? Has he? I thought you'd kicked him out.
No. He left himself. He's now waving manically because he thinks he can be let back in. But there we go. Yeah, finally. Okay. We'll bring our guest back in after this. Sam's going to be really disappointed he's not in the list yet. Great. Thank you very much for joining us. What is your first name, sir? Because all I keep saying is RM.
Yeah, Reuben.
Nice to meet you, Reuben. How are you?
Thanks. I'm very well. Thanks for having me on, guys. I've been watching. Very nice. It's all good.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. So Reuben is currently has written a book called Winner Stays On, and I'll pass over to you because it's an interesting premise, and you seem to be holding an inflatable fish for quite a while of it.
Oh yeah, almost a third of the book. I had my Harry with me in the bag. So it's sort of a travel book and a football book, sort of as if they had a lovely baby together. And it was a full-length book, and it started with a random fixture. I just put all the very extra preliminary ones into a big randomizer. It took me down to Tuffley Rovers down in Gloucester. Then I followed the winner on from that game, all the way to get into the final. Stayed for a few days at each place that I visited, wrote a chapter on the village or the town or the city and the football club, and a lot of it ended up being with Grimsby, which was great because I think I'd like to think that it would stand on its own 2 feet without a great story in there, without a load of cup sets, but it was definitely a lot richer for it. I feel it was, consider it was just potluck. I was very grateful to come across Grimsby and then to follow the run with you, because it was the story of the FA Cup last year, and to have been with it. I was there for 4 rounds from Burton all the way to Brighton. It was great luck and a great experience, really.
When did you join us, Reuben? When were you aboard the SS Mariner?
It was the game at home to Burton Albion, because I followed Chippenham a few rounds, and then Chippenham got drawn away to Burton. They got smacked 5-0 or 5-1 or something, and then Burton obviously got drawn away to you guys.
And did you get to go to many of the any of the games? I know Southampton you could have probably got into. Brighton was a bit gold dust like.
No, every match all the way to the final, yeah, including replays. Came up to Grimsby for the Luton replay on the Tuesday. So I think with replays it ended up being 17, 18 matches, but yeah, I got to all of them. Had to call in some favours and do a lot of begging for the semi-final and the final especially. But until that point, it wasn't too difficult.
That sounds quite an interesting. But Bruce, can you remember when we had a gentleman that did that in the league when they came and started at Grimsby? Oh, you found it, have you? There you go. There was a gentleman who did it in the league called the Glory Hunter, who pulled out
Spencer Austin. I am the Glory Hunter, and he did a full season of what you did. And
right.
he came up to Grimsby a couple of times. So he started at Grimsby at the start of the season, drawn out of the hat in a London pub, and he came up. But then he stayed where he was. So he sort of travelled around, and it was good. But it got a little bit. I think yours would, because it was like only 17 or 18 games. It'll probably be fresher. I mean, he had some good stories, and we had some. He was with us for a few weeks. Somehow we scraped a couple of draws, and then he sort of but yeah, he did it for the whole league campaign. But he was quite fresh. He was quite fresh in August and early September when he was with us. He came back with his new team early in the new year sometime, and I took him out for a few beers because I got to know him at Brentford on an away game the first time round. So when he came up, he rang message to say that he was in the Premier Inn when his new team were playing. And he'd put on about half a stone going out on the pitch with everybody. He looked a completely different man. He was almost broken. But yeah, it's a good idea. I like it. And like I say, yours is probably going to be quite a lot fresher because it's not the number of games, and you're not churning out Saturday, Tuesday.
As well, I'd have thought that the magic of a league campaign is a bit difficult to get across when, if you ended up going to Sutton on a Tuesday night. I mean, the FA Cup is still considered the world's best competition. So it's quite good that you managed to get a decent underdog story instead of, third round you drew Man United or somebody and then that was it. So you must have been a bit worried about that.
I was dreading Manchester City because I live in Manchester as well, and that would be the adventure over, because most of the fun was like that fella you're talking about. You're at the other book is meeting people and staying places and going on a bit of an adventure with it. So if I'd have just drawn City or United in the third round and then just been able to sort of hop on the bus to go do all my research and stuff rather than all these late night trips and Airbnbs and things, it would have been pants probably, and not much of a good read either. So yeah, I was lucky with the draws. I had pretty good underdog one. Chippenham, it was their record breaking season for them. They got to the second round. That's the furthest they'd ever got, and then it was only obviously a round or so later that I bumped into you lot. So the footballing side of things I definitely was fortunate with, and it was a challenge, but a challenge that I sort of set up for myself to, because I wanted to write something that was being authentic rather than cherry picking a few places around England or wherever that had good stories. I'll go to Grimsby because I can talk about X. I'll go to Middlesbrough to talk about Y. I wanted to do it completely randomly and then sort of organically find a story from there and try and sort of give a clearer or more sort of true, less cherry picked picture of the country. And that's what kept it really fresh. I think was when you first get drawn to a place and you're like, bloody hell, what am I going to write about here? It was. I think there's a couple of those that I just didn't have a clue what it was going to turn out looking like, and some of those have ended up being most interesting ones because you just put enough time in and speak to enough people, and all of a sudden this really interesting or as yet unwritten about thing pops up. And I think with Grimsby, you can't ignore the fishing. I feel like you wouldn't be doing your job if you weren't talking about fishing and you come into Grimsby. But I was conscious not to dwell on that. I feel like if you're from Grimsby, you finally get to the Grimsby chapter in a book and they're just banging on about the fishing again. I probably don't have too much new to add to that. So I try to just speak to as many people as possible, and I got lucky with getting some really good, receptive, and generous people with their time.
Did we hog you the longest at 4 rounds?
I think it must have been, yeah, I'm pretty sure. It was.
Second part of that then was that were you in the away end at Southampton?
No, I was in the home end.
That was probably our best. That was probably our best away atmosphere for many a long year. I mean, there's loads of videos on social media taken from the home end, and I just think for a club of our size to take that many down to the south coast on a Tuesday, Wednesday night, whatever it was, the atmosphere was just unbelievable. And to be fair, you probably got quite a good view of it.
Well, it was brilliant because I was in this sort of like, I don't want to say Southampton end, but it was kind of like half a Southampton end because there was a lot of empty seats, and I got a ticket right at the back of the bowl. And I just stood up and watched it all unfold, and people were just losing their minds. It was like two clubs in complete opposite trajectories, and you had all your fans down the one end, and I had people rowing, people leaving early down over where I was, and I was just watching it like fucking up my cheeks, going, "This is something crazy to see." And I watched your intro earlier with the quote from Ali McCoy. I don't think I ever wanted to be in a stand quite as much, and I've quoted that from him in the book because it's exactly how I felt. It was just, especially everyone wants an underdog, but when there's an underdog where you've got to know a few fans, you've got to know a couple of people at the club, and you've watched them a couple of times, it ended up really, really rooting for you. And then on top of that, just this incredible atmosphere down there. It was. I'm glad that I didn't take up a ticket off of someone that could have done with it and had put more miles in, but it was great to be there just from a distance and see.
You didn't see a flag, did you, on your way out?
Yeah, this is a point. Did Reuben steal my flag?
Well, I've been blackmailing you to get me on the pod. That's what it is. It's,
do you know what? Yeah. He keeps sending little bits of thread back one at a time, Bruce. That's what it was. Was there any particular lasting memories you had from, particularly our bit? Because let's be honest, we don't care about Brighton. In terms of what you came away with. And another question I'd like to ask as an outsider who had a little bit more close, was it given the emphasis it should have done at the time in terms of what the club had achieved, taking out 5 teams or 4 teams from the round above? Do you think it was given the same attention, say, our local rivals Lincoln had when they did the same feat a couple of years before?
I don't think so, and not until the Southampton game. I think that being on telly and that being a Premier League opponent was really when it kicked off. I think I spoke to Jason Stockwood after the Luton games, and he was kind of saying the same thing. It's like, there's not an awful lot of coverage here, but we don't really, that he didn't seem too fussed about it, but it was something that he acknowledged as well. But no, I think for the Brighton game, it was, once it started getting on the telly and everything, it felt like the story. But until that point, I think we did fly under the radar a bit.
Amazing. Where is this available, Reuben? Is it available in all good and bad bookshops?
Yeah, it's available in the good ones and the big bad online one, which I've been told Amazon is the best way you can buy it to support me. I think it's not that I see any more money. It's just that it helps with the algorithms I'm hearing. So the best thing, if you like the sound of it and you want to help me claw back some Airbnb money, then the best thing you can do is pre-order on Amazon, apparently. And I'll get 50p or something lovely like that.
And what's it called?
It's called Winner Stays On, England with the FA Cup for a compass.
And you've picked one of my favourite photos of Kenilworth Road and the away end, which looks incredible from above. I'm going to try and replicate it with a drone at Blundell Park at some point.
It's brilliant, right? And I just came across it on my Twitter feed one day, and I was like, well, that's it, because it's the whole thing of the book is the meeting point between the places and the football. To have that drone shot where they're separated by a thin bit of iron in one stand, and you've got the terrace streets and then the goal mouth on the other side. I was just like, that is perfect. And luckily, it was one that we could afford. So it worked out very nicely. Yeah.
You could do the Copa de Brazil next year, mate. That'll be an interesting read, travelling around there.
Yeah, might have to start a Kickstarter.
The FA Cup.
Might have to sell a few of these books.
Yeah. I'll have to convince my lovely girlfriend Rosie as well. It's bad enough going to Grimsby for a couple of nights, let alone up to Brazil for 9 months. Yeah, but
did you tell her the Bags Ball has closed down now?
He doesn't know what that is, Bruce.
The Bags Ball is no more, love. You're absolutely fine. Wednesday night in Cleethorpes is not the same as it used to be.
I don't even know what
she's
that
perfectly
is,
safe leaving you in the Premier Inn.
I don't even know what that is. What are two people living from Manchester going to know?
Here's the question, Reuben. Which was the chip shop you went to when you came up? This will be the break.
Oh my God.
The 10th breaker. Let's have a listen.
This is. I didn't go to any. I didn't go to any. I didn't.
Oh.
I had dinner at Docks. Someone took me out for dinner at Docks, and that was great. But no, I don't think I actually did. I
missed opportunity.
I'm a member of the, was it the woke tofu in Twitterati, whatever it is.
The woke tweet. Yeah,
that's all right. The sausage doesn't have any meat.
It's 2-1 the Twitterati now. Anyway,
there we go.
There we are.
Yeah. Perfect. Reuben, thank you so much for joining us. It's available on Amazon and anywhere else you can get them. It's Winner Stays On. Keep an eye out for it. It's almost all town, so it's pretty much the second best book you can buy this year, because Bruce is still banging on about the 1934 championship one, which I'm sure we'll touch upon in a minute. But Reuben, thank you so much for joining us, and you can get it before Christmas still, so go out there and get it.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dan. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers, anytime. Reuben. Thank you very much.
See you later. Bye.
So there we go. Bruce, do you want to talk about the 1933-1934 book that's come out, because you were very excited about it?
That was good, wasn't it? I like Reuben. He's a nice lad.
I saw you writing down the title as well.
I did, yes.
Can I say I was a bit worried about when we've brought him on to talk about his great book, and then you hold up this is this other fella that did this, and saying all about the other fella that did it. Bruce, hang on, mate.
I did think that. I did think.
No, but I thought that when he said that's what he'd done, I thought of that, and like I say, and I stand by what I said. Spencer's book got a little bit. Sorry, Sam, go on.
Bit like going to a chippy for your tea, but saying, "Can I bring my Mackies in with me, please?" It is a bit of that kind of.
No, vibe. It's like going into Wybers and go, this is no Marklews, this is no Beckett's or whatever it is, but it'll do for now.
Definitely sounds interesting, though. I'm definitely gonna buy that.
You know. Speaking of that sort of thing, Sam, I was moaning about that Christmas card that Leah What's Her Face sent me.
Yes. What about?
I got a letter the other day asking how she can help improve the area, and how we can all chip in together to help. I've not heard or seen a word from her since she took over, and now the end is nigh. She's making.
It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of me walking into Leanna after she's about to put the last dish in the dryer and go, Can I help with the washing up?
The cupboard door's just slammed shut as she's emptied the dishwasher.
I don't really understand. I'm not here as a representative of defending Leah.
Sorry, Sam.
It's not my job.
Forget you. Then I just think it's shit that she's just wasting.
Not to mention the fact that you live in Cleethorpes.
Well, she said that, yeah, although Martin Vickers is my MP or something, that the letter said we're all in this together or something. It said.
Same on the stampage.
Well, we are. We'll all be queued up outside the job centre together next year. So that's the.
That's true.
Oh, we
So-
put a word in for you, Sam, about Sam Trice. We've put in a tentative
Oh.
application for you to be the new CEO of Grimsby Town for a week.
No, you haven't, have you?
I won't. I don't think they were that keen. But
You didn't. Did you? I haven't listened to it in full yet. So, did you actually
Right.
suggest that?
Yeah. Well, you going as a mascot, right? After Debbie, apparently, who really is keen to be Mike Marino, we're going to go back to the best game in the world, and then Bruce is going to do his even better one, where we are going to go with the 10 best restaurants according to TripAdvisor on that say they are from Grimsby, and I'm saying they say they're from Grimsby because there are a couple of Cleethorpes ones in there, I think. And it is going to be great because two of these people who are going to do this competition do not live in Grimsby, so this could be a lot of fun.
And haven't for a long time.
I've never lived in Grimsby or Cleethorpes.
I think we're going to need help with this because I haven't been able to. I've been.
Hang on, let me ring my mum.
Is a P&M on there for its peanuts?
I'm going to go with the top 20. The P&M is not on there.
No,
so
that was a joke. That was a joke.
Sam, yours is next. Bruce got it wrong. Disgraceful.
Oh, what's that French restaurant called? That's in Cleethorpes.
Greg's. Le Greg's.
Le Chipsy Fish.
I have honestly.
Just while Sam's thinking,
I'll be honest.
can I just
apart
say,
from McDonald's,
Sam,
and
can I just?
I've never and the
He
chips. I've
can't. He
never.
can't not vocalize.
He has to
his
think
own thoughts,
aloud.
Bruce.
He has to
Yeah.
think aloud,
Can
mate.
you just mute
He's like
him a
my
sec?
child. Yeah.
Right. Can I just say that if you are listening, this is the 10 minutes at the end of the pod that's shit. If
Yes.
you want to stop listening now, there will be nothing else useful apart from Alex saying goodbye at the end.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
true.
As
Thank you
opposed
very
to
much for
the 50 minutes in the middle of the pod, which is also shit. But
Mike, go on then. Your turn.
Oriental Express, mate. There we go.
Oriental Express is in Cleethorpes and is not on the list. So you're out. Sam,
good.
your turn.
Fucking hell. What?
That's
obvious.
I've no idea. I've never eaten apart from at Mackey's or at the
I
chip
think
shop
you're
in
gonna need some
Cleethorpes or
help.
Grimsby. I've never
Okay.
lived in Grimsby. I've never lived in North East
What do
Lincolnshire.
you want to do?
It's
Phone a friend. Right, go on then, Bruce. Your turn to win it.
The Othello.
Oh, the Othello. I don't believe it is on here.
Must have gone downhill then.
The
Are we
Othello
saying there's
is
some
not
from
on it.
Cleethorpes on this list?
There
Or
are some
figs.
from
What about
Cleethorpes.
figs?
Is one of the top 5 from Cleethorpes?
Yes, I think so. Figs is on there, Bruce. Number 6. Well done, my friend. That was brilliant. Well done. Well played.
I was going to say Steele's, and I know it's in Cleethorpes.
So Steele's is number 8 on the best restaurants in Grimsby.
It
What
should be
about-
higher.
What about Turkish restaurant? It's just opened up at the top of Isaacs Hill. It looks quite good, and it's called Turkish restaurant. I know again it's Cleethorpes.
They are not on there, I'm afraid. No, Turkish restaurant, taking all the time in the world to think of the title of that place. Apparently, number 11 is Brewers Fare, which says a lot about the food available in Grimsby.
Fucking hell, the Brad's number 12.
So here's the rundown. I'd love to do the top of the pops music. But
BHS Canteen wasn't too bad.
So, Bruce, you can tell me if these are in Cleethorpes or Grimsby or boo them. Number 1 was the Pal Bar and Kitchen.
The what?
The Pal Bar and Kitchen.
Never heard of it.
Tradici's is number 2.
I've heard of Tradici.
The Pig and Whistle was next.
I've heard of it, but I couldn't tell you where it is. Is that part of?
It's in Healing.
That's Healing. That's the restaurant at Healing Manor, isn't it?
Oh, is it? There you go.
Is that Indian place on there that Bruce always goes to?
The Agra.
Yeah.
It is not on there.
Watch it. The ship in Barnum and the Beck will be on it. That's somewhere near.
No. Number 4 was Fez. Number 5 was Sage. Number 6 was Figs. Number 7 was The Curious Cat. Number 8 was Steele's in Cleethorpes. Number 9 was Ali Indian Restaurant and Takeaway in Haltonley Clay. Number 10 was The Counting House. Number 11, Brewers Fair. Number
Counting
12.
House, Cleethorpes.
Yeah. 12, Abby's Bistro. Number 13, Maggie's Chip Shop in Cleethorpes. Then Miller and Carter was 14.
Maggie's Chip Shop.
Yeah. Wybers was 15. 16 was Oliver's Eatery and Johnny Donuts in Cleethorpes.
Oliver's is nice, the restaurant, yeah.
17
does
was
good breakfast.
Does it? Laceby Manor Golf Club was 17. The Comfy Duck in Laceby was 18. And then this one, I think this is across the other side of the river. The Crown and Anchor pub in Kilnsea, which is 9 miles away, which I'm pretty sure is
It
north
is.
of the
That,
river.
yeah, it
Kilns
is
on the
that-
North Bank. Kilns
That
on
is
the
on
massive
North
North
Bank.
fucking car park.
Kilnsey must be near Spurn. So
There we go.
Yeah, you've got to
mate,
get a boat.
food, dear.
I once got a boat from the docks and had fish and chips at the lighthouse at Spurn Point. My gran won
great.
gran won an experience at a raffle. Me and her went on a sort of trawler thing across the river.
Bruce, should we do your proper quiz now? Because that was terrible.
Right.
What was number 20?
The Trawlerman.
All right, okay.
In
I
I
wanted
Cleveland.
wouldn't be able to sleep.
Jesus Christ! Half of them are in Cleethorpes. Half of them aren't any good.
once the other in a different county.
The town of Grimsby cannot compete with Maggie's Chippy.
It's no wonder I've never lived in the area, is it? If that's the best we can come up with.
What,
I've
'cause you
got to say,
like
it's a
food?
hell of a lot better than older shot. I'll tell you that. Bruce,
Right.
go.
I want to bring this back because it might be the last one before Christmas. I want to bring us back to a bit of a festive feel, and,
Have I
and take
got
you
any
back to
festive
those
music?
take you back to those victories at Lincoln that used to come every Boxing Day.
Oh, I'm in the
Wait.
element.
We're going back. We're going back to Monday, the 26th of December, 2011. The Mariners won 2-1 at Lincoln. It might have been the first trip to Lincoln. I think it was 11, 12, and 13, and then they asked us. And then they made us play Mansfield on Boxing Day because Lincoln got upset. Right, so we're going to go through. We're going to cross some names off. It's not really a competition. If you get it wrong, then you no, we'll just do it for fun. Right, we're going to start top left with Alex. I want a player that started. We'll do the subs later. Just a player that started in that game.
Who is he trying to find a sleigh bell sound effect? What am I doing?
I just want a player that played in the 2-1 in December 2011. So it was the 11-12 season. That would be our 10-11 second season.
Third
Season in the conference.
No, second. It's the
I was
season we
right.
finished. Yeah, second.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Sam.
Anthony Eldin.
Yes, well done. Anthony Eldin. Mike. This is not a good start.
Is that the first? I really wasn't listening to you. Is this the second season, McEwen?
Second season. We were at this game, Boxing Day
McEwen.
2011. We won 2-1 at Lincoln.
McEwen.
Yes. Sam.
Liam Hearn. He scored.
Liam Hearn did score, yes.
Hang on,
One of the substitutes scored.
Terrible sound effect.
Alex.
Charles Janssen.
Charlie Janssen. Good answer.
Is it Janssen or Janssen?
Janssen.
Kim Janssen. He's not from Scandinavia. We go with Janssen. Mike.
I've got no other music here. I'm really sorry, guys. Let you down.
Coulson.
Michael Coulson. Yes, Mike. Well done.
Did you say I can't name substitutes? We'll do substitutes later. You said one of the substitutes.
We're doing substitutes later, yes, Sam. So you can save the other goal scorer for later.
Oh, okay. Okay then. Bradley Wood.
Yes, well done, Alex.
I am going to go with my favourite player. My favourite player at the time, Manny Panther.
Oh,
well done. How have you got that? How have you pulled that out of the bag?
That was his best ever game. That was. He kept the shape of the team beautifully that afternoon.
Kept his shape.
He kept the shape of the team beautifully. I liked Manny.
I'm surprised you got him. I think there's one player on this that you're going to struggle to get that I would never have gotten among the Sundays.
I'm impressed with Manny Panther.
I'm impressed with that. You've got 2 defenders, 1 midfielder, and the other one I ain't got.
Well, I'm having a crack at the left back, and I think I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with Townsend.
Well done, Mike. Correct. This is going really well.
That was mine. So you said Manny was in midfield with Michael Coulson on the right hand side. Did Rob Eagle play that afternoon?
No, Sam. Is that the first?
It is.
Alex.
James McEwen.
He's already
We've already had McEwen.
Oh,
A defender, a midfielder, and I'm not really too sure. A midfielder. I think midfielder, but I
Did
don't know.
Macca play then? Because it wasn't Freddie Artis that played then.
Did who play?
Who?
Freddie Artis. You mean Frankie Artis?
Yeah, that's him.
He was a midfielder. You're not mixing him up with Kenny Arthur, are you?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh, fuck's sake.
He's so busy buggering about with crap.
That was a bit of everything, wasn't it? What was it? Freddie Artis, the goalkeeper.
Put me out of my misery. Serge Makofu.
Do you know what? I'm giving you that because he was on the bench.
Was he really?
Behave.
No, Alex is my boss. I'm giving him that.
I was told I couldn't have a
Thank you,
substitute.
Bruce.
Yeah, but you don't sort the pod out. So I'll
What
give Alex that.
what midfielders have we had, Bruce? Read the midfielders to me because I'm not listening to them.
Right, just tell me who
read
was.
the midfielders that they've already said.
I've scribbled them out now. Hang on.
Because I want to say Disley, but I think somebody must have already said him.
No, they haven't said that.
Well, I'll say Disley then.
Right, and you're right.
Well, why has nobody said that earlier?
Well, yeah, I said
Right,
Robbie
we've got a
before I
centre.
said.
We've got a defender that I can't believe nobody said, and we've got a midfielder that I can believe nobody said.
I know who the defender is.
I know the defender is.
No,
as well.
he doesn't.
Go on then, Sam. It's your go.
Sean Pearson.
Sean Pearson.
Sean.
No,
Yes.
Disley and Pearson.
Sorry, I said Rob Eagle before I said Disley and Pearson, and Alex said Manny Panther, and a player who didn't even exist before
You can
Sean
say Freddie
Pearson.
Artis. Freddie Artis, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Freddie Artis, the goalkeeper, before he said Sean Pearson.
Right, okay. I'm opening up the subs because there's only one outfield player. There's only one player left, and we've been going an hour and 6 minutes.
Have we had
Right,
Artis?
Alex, you're next.
Am I allowed someone from the Lincoln team?
No, we need to wrap this up because this is going beyond the 10 minutes of shit at the end of the pod.
I don't know. I would have gone Paul Farman, who plays for Lincoln. He was their keeper.
Right,
at the
Mike.
time.
Frankie
more?
Artis.
Yes, well done. Go on, Sam. Give me your sub.
Scott Garner, because he scored.
Yes, well done. The goal scorer.
Oh, no.
Right, there's 3 players left. One of them's already been mentioned, I think. One of them was a midfielder. One of them was a forward, and then we've got Mr. Unknown. Who
Am I
think
still
might have
in?
played. Yeah, you're still in. Yeah,
What about Michael Coulson?
we've had him.
I did, mate.
Okay, fine. Thanodge.
Yes, well
Andy
done.
Dange.
Brilliant. Great shout on the bench. Right, we've got one sub. We've got a sub.
Is the sub a centre forward? Hang on, Sam. Hang
I
on.
know it is. Please don't get it.
Is he a centre forward?
He's a forward player. Yes.
Oh, I'm going Rob Duffy.
Well done. I hope nobody's cheating here. Right.
No, so I've got to get this.
I'm amazed I've got
player.
that.
So I've got this unknown player that nobody's heard of.
Yeah.
And he played on the left wing.
I'm going to
didn't
show
he?
I'm not cheating by sharing my screen. Share entire screen.
That doesn't show anything. That just shows you're not cheating at the moment.
I don't even know this lad's first name.
Is that the Matrix now? Because we can just see ourselves like in threefold.
He plays on the left-hand side of midfield.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
I've got no
about
idea.
this.
I think I
Hang on,
recognise the
hang
name
on.
when you tell me, but
Hang on. I've got to.
Oh,
I have
hang
no
on, here we
idea,
are.
man.
Pictures of people in the bingo in the 1990s in Grimsby. This could be interesting.
I give up.
Okay.
I've got no idea.
All right.
Is it one of these month-long loanees or something?
I'm not sure what he was, Mike.
What's out
to
of
be honest.
misery, mate?
Right.
He wasn't Lewis
He's
Goldberg,
got an
was
auntie called. He's got an auntie called Jenny and an uncle who was a footballer called Benny.
It's not Lewis Goburn, is it?
Penny McCarthy.
Benny Goburn. Benny Goburn and Benny and Jenny Goburn. No famous. Yes, it's McCarthy. I ain't got a clue who that is.
That's amazing.
Would have been a while getting that one.
McCarthy. I haven't got a clue.
I can't
Right,
even
when you-
remember.
We need to go.
Who won?
None of us did. No
Cal
one
won
won
2-1.
that.
So I won
That's it.
2-1. There were no winners in this game.
Well, how did Sam win? Because Sam didn't get the last one, and Alex got somebody from the bench before we was allowed the bench. So I'm the only one that didn't get one wrong. Or
Do you want me to say that you
I'm a
won,
fix,
Mike?
so
Yeah, we also named. I also named Rob Eagle
Also-
before I named Craig Disley, and I'm ashamed. Of
I also
myself.
named the Lincoln goalkeeper. So
I think you all did pretty well there. If there was no cheating, and Freddie Artis.
That's the name of the pod, that, isn't it? Freddie Artist.
Or was it Kenny Artist? Kenny Artist, he called.
Kenny Arthur.
I think
Kenny Arthur was the goal.
I think you called him Kenny Artist, didn't you?
No,
he called him Frankie Artist.
He called him Freddie Artist. Frankie Artist. Yeah.
I will say though, Bruce, don't be going any earlier than that. Those sorts of years, if I'm in it, because I will struggle.
I think we need to do a Christmas quiz, and we'll do it properly.
Right. Well, if
that.
I'm go if we're going and I don't see you before, have a good Christmas, all of you.
I'm sure we will do. And we shall see you all soon as well. It'll be great to have you along. Enjoy the Christmas period. Yeah, we'll see you all.
Are you back Saturday, Sam?
Yeah, I'm on here on Saturday, and I'm going to box. I'm going
We're
to
just
Mansfield
arranging
on
stuff
Boxing Day.
now. Yeah. This is the bit at the end of the pod.
I've got 2 home games at Easter. I'm coming for a day, staying for a week.
You need to catch up, don't you? You need to catch up with California. California's battering you.
My one game.
From thousands of miles away, he's battering you.
And yet you got Mike Crawley from 22
Michael
miles.
gets battered everywhere.
How many you've been to? You've been about to one more than me, haven't you?
I've been to MK Dons, Oxford.
Rotterdam, and
who else have I been to?
Milton Keynes, Forest Green,
Gillingham. Yeah, Forest Green.
You've done 2 more than me.
Just dedicated. I'll speak to you all soon. Have a great Christmas, and we will be back shortly. Love you and leave you. Bye-bye.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be on a stand more than my life around there. They're going crazy. Hey, they got penalty here. There'll be fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! A really, really good goal. You can't make it straight like that.